Welcome. You are going to start your journey to a planning engineering job career. So I welcome you people. In this video, you are going to cover project, what is operation, and what is project management. Let's start. So first of all, the very basic thing, a lot of people who are going to join this session, I just make sure that you people have to understand first thing. There is in engineering industry, by knowing these terminologies, by acquiring familiarity, after having this concept, what is project? We have many things around us. Like we have buildings, we have factories, we have many housing societies, even we have laptop in front of us, we have mobile, right? We have mobile applications. So everything which can benefit us or which is under service, right, can be considered either as a project or operation. There are two things we have to understand tonight. What is the difference between project and operation? So project, they are going to ask you in job interviews when you are going to appear in planning engineer job interview, right? What is project? So project is actually the first parameter should be like temporary endeavor, effort, you can say in, Asan English mein, koshish, effort. Endeavor means effort, temporary effort. If you are going to construct a building, that is a temporary, not building. Your effort is temporary. You are going to start construct that building on a certain date, right? You are going to start from 1st of January, let's say, and there is a date you are going to finish that one. It's not like that qiyamat tak kab chalte rahenge. You are going to continue till, doomsday, right? So you are going to complete maybe 1st January se start hua and 31st December you are going to deliver that one. So when everything having a start date, having a finish date, that would be considered as a temporary. So anything which is having temporary effort, certain start date, certain finish date, undertaken to create unique product. That is the second feature. When you are going to define project, you have to use these words, temporary and unique output or unique product. That is going to complete your definition. Now take an example with me. If you are given a road construction project that is going to start a certain date, that is going to complete it on a certain date, right? Any project, oil and gas project, refinery, petrochemical industry, cement industry, anything which is actually, having a certain start date and a certain finish date, that is temporary. And at the end of that process, you are getting very unique product. Like that product was not existing before. Like iPhone 16 is launched now, right? So when they were preparing iPhone 16, that was a project. It's very good example, relatable, right? Because iPhone 16, they were going to complete, they have started this iPhone 16 design, every feature from a certain date. And now they are going to complete. They have already completed. So that was temporary effort actually, but it was a unique. So it will be considered as a project. Simple. But now you will raise one more question when we are going to understand operation, but I'm not going into that detail right now. Just clear project. Now you should think about your projects. Building, when you are going to make a new building, that would be a project. New road, that would be a project. New oil and gas pipeline, that would be a project, right? So when you are going to define project, that is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product. What does mean by unique? Like I'm going to construct a building in Lahore and I'm going to construct a new building in Islamabad. So both buildings are unique. Yes, both have different locations, different designs, different cost, different people are going to work for those projects. So on these parameters, we are going to define uniqueness of our product: design, cost, location, and people who are working on that project. So that is why we are going to consider a unique product. Okay. So this is, do you understand project? Now I'm going to give another example after this. Like this is same thing. It's a defined beginning and end, specific objective, set of tasks to achieve those objectives. That's the same thing I have already explained. But more you can understand project when you are going to know about what is operation, right? So operation, when project is going to complete, because earlier मैंने थोड़ी देर पहले explain कर दिया ना, when you are going to start a new building, that building will be considered as a project. But भाई अब building बन गई है, अब क्या करना है? After that operation will be started. Now this building is going to convert into hospital, right? So when it is going under service, like hospital, acting as a hospital place, right? So operation is going on. What does mean by operation? Operation means there are repeating tasks. Operation is the next phase of project. Do you understand? Operation, once a project is completed, like iPhone 16 is done, approved, market में launch हो चुका है iPhone 16. That was a project. Until that, they launched this product. But now they are going to produce millions of iPhone 16s. So this process in which they are going to produce identical and same iPhone 16s, this phase would be called as operation. So operation ongoing, it will go, it's not ending unless until that product will be obsolete or vanished or something. Repetitive activities, same thing you have to do to produce iPhone 16. It's not like that the iPhone 16 you are going to produce in December is you need to make extra activities. No, same, it is already defined. That organization perform the maintain their business. Now I will give you an example from building. बिल्डिंग इज कंस्ट्रक्टेड, राइट? बिल्डिंग बन चुकी है भाई, अब बिल्डिंग को आपने हॉस्पिटल में कन्वर्ट कर दिया, अब उसको मेंटेन करने के लिए वट एवर यू आर गोइंग टू कंडक्ट, लाइक उसका मेंटेनेंस ऑफ लिफ्ट, मेंटेनेंस ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिकल आइटम्स, मेंटेनेंस ऑफ मैकेनिकल इक्विपमेंट, मेंटेनेंस ऑफ पाइपिंग, फायर फाइटिंग इक्विपमेंट, you are actually maintaining, that would be called operation. Same concept will be applicable on refineries. Once you are going to conduct first time construction of refinery, that was considered as a project. But now once you are going to refine your oil, operation will be started. Same repetitions, like every day you are going, because it is in operation phase, you are making same steps to refine your oil, repetitive activities ongoing, it will continue, okay, until unless refinery is there. So there is a difference between project and operation. If you understand this concept, please write in chat box yes. If you need more explanation, I will explain it, don't worry. So everything, once that is going to start, that will be considered as a project, because that was at that state that was temporary. The first, that was temporary and unique, okay, defined start date, defined finish date. But the next phase is operation, okay. In operation, you need to understand ongoing, this word, repetitive activities, okay, and identical output. Here is unique output, here is identical, same output. This is investment phase where you are going to invest, and this is revenue generation phase. Once you are going to construct road, that is project, and that is investment. And when this road is already done, traffic चालू हो चुकी भाईजान, टोल प्लाजा पे आप क्या कर रहे हो? आप पैसे कमा रहे हो, ऑपरेशन भी चल रहा है ना आपका. ऑपरेशन मीन टू से मेंटेनेंस चल रही है, आपका रोड कहीं से खराब है, यू आर गोइंग टू फिक्स दैट रोड पैच. इज सिंपल. Do you understand the logic between project and operations? Farzan, once you are going to start any product, first time you are going to talk about the design of that item, you are going to talk about the estimation, you are going to talk about how to construct, you are going to define when I am going to start that project and when I am going to finish. And at the end, you are going to get very unique item that would be considered as a project. Like building, first time बना रहे हैं, project है, but that building, when it will be handed over to hospital, school, or any other purpose, that would be considered under the operations, right? You are maintaining that building every day, you are waking up, and if you are working there, you are maintaining that building. So that phase would be considered as operation, the repetitive activities. This concept will be applicable for every industry: building, road, oil and gas, refinery. I have explained it already for the refinery as well. So is it okay? So again, you will understand, no problem. I will be repeating again and again, don't worry, okay? So unlike projects are unique actually. Operations are continuous. Okay, these are the major differences. Produce the same product, identical product, iPhone 60. I have given the example that they are following the same step, and at the end they are going to get the same iPhone 16, something like that. Okay, so that was the example. So it is applicable for every industry. Now I'm going to share with you project management. The major thing for which we are over here to learn the basic, fundamental concepts. Project management is the application of knowledge. What is knowledge? Like our university knowledge. Okay, we can consider this training knowledge, skills like best industry practices, tools. It means softwares like Primavera P6, like Excel, like Microsoft Project, and techniques. Techniques, again, best construction strategies. So if you can summarize project management definition, it is the combination of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet the project requirement. Basically, we are going to understand project management, not operation management. Project management is the fundamental thing. Okay, as a planning engineer, we are going to understand project management, the first phase. Whenever we are going to work as a planning engineer for any building which was not, जो पहले कभी नहीं की गई, मतलब उस तरह की बिल्डिंग तो की गई, हमारे पास टेम्पलेट तो है, डोंट थिंक लाइक दैट, बट हम प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट के तौर पे एक प्लानिंग इंजीनियर का स्किल सेट सीखने जा रहे हैं. सो what is the definition of project management? It is the application of knowledge, skills, tools and techniques to project activities to meet the project requirement. एंड पे सबका एक ही ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है, that we should deliver that project successfully. Okay, so that is the project management, and it involves planning. Obviously, we have understood already that there are different kind of project life cycle phases: the planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. Resources, in which you can see time, money, and materials to achieve specific goals within a defined time frame and budget. Obviously, as of now, I have already mentioned कि भाईजान हम एक project पे काम करेंगे. When I mention every time there is a project, your mind should click it that there is a specific start date and there is a specific finish date. Simple. At the end of this video, I just want to highlight that if you want to learn this full training, full advanced level, that how you can perform as a planning engineer in the industry of Gulf region, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, and how you can pass job interviews, because I know that watching these videos can leave you a lot of questions in your mind. So I am offering a live sessions about construction industry planning and plant shutdown industry planning and control. So I would like to invite you in my full interactive sessions. Enroll now. Okay, now you are at level 2. You are going to understand project life cycle. This is as important for a planning engineer to understand, as you can see that complete framework is going to be explained in this category, in this video, that how whole industry is going to operate. You understand? Either you talk about petrochemical industry, either you talk about oil and gas industry, plant shutdown, construction industry, they are going to follow this life cycle of project management. So watch it and see you next level. Whenever you are going to talk about project management, whatever I am going to share in next 5 minutes, that is the basic concept. Okay, what is the basic concept over here? Actually, project management can be subdivided into 5 different kind of phases. What are these phases? The first phase is called initiate phase. By name, it is very obvious. बड़ी simple सी बात है ना. Initiate, what does mean by initiate? To start. To initiate means to start. This is the first phase. Okay. So what we are supposed to do, this initiate. Before explaining initiate, I will explain as I told you earlier, that project is actually a partnership between different kind of parties. Like if I'm going to start a business, I need different kind of partners. Same, this project is not possible without partnership of different kind of organization. The first organization which is owner of this project is called client. The advisor organization of this project, who are expert people in technical skills, In financial skills, those people are called consultants. And the people who are directly working on that project are called contractors or developers. Okay, developers are thekedar are called, contractors are called service companies. Okay, so that's, you have to understand that how it will go on. Okay, so when story starts with initiate phase, how it will, start. In initiate phase, there is only one party, client. There is only one party, client. So client is going to hire consultant. So as per the instructions of this client, consultant is going to conduct certain kind of project report studies. Like first thing is feasibility study, feasibility report. This report, either you can imagine, आप सोच सकते हैं about any project like your oil and gas project, your refinery project, your building construction project, your city development project, your World Bank, any campaign project. So the first document will be like feasibility report. Like feasibility means financial analysis, that either this project is going to give you benefit in terms of money, and technically, is it possible to build this project? Like I will give you an example. If I'm going to construct a road, is that road is feasible to go through a city? Maybe in some cases, I need to demolish many, buildings. That is not feasible. I need to demolish very, historical buildings and all that. So that is not feasible. I need to weigh out another way, right? So feasibility report is going to recommend that is the initiate phase, how project is going to start actually. Feasibility report. In that report, you are going to take analysis about finances and technicalities. Simple. At the end of feasibility report, you are going to come out with two outcomes, yes or no. If your yes is there, it means your project is going to आगे चल रहा है, इसकी सांसें चलेंगी, and you are going to compile project charter. Project charter. Now, this is actually comprehensive document in which you are going to give, green signal that my project is going to start. There are specific deliverables that this building is going to be 10 stories. This is going to be 2000 square feet area based building. I'm going to allot this much funding. Okay. So how many people are going to be part of this, this project? के कौन-कौन से partners होंगे? Major life kind of information, project charter. Okay, that's done. The first phase. Okay, and the second phase is going to start once project charter is going to, then the second phase is going to start. That is called planning phase. Now in planning phase, that is the second phase actually. So now in the planning phase, first of all, you need to start design. Okay, you have to produce design, that building design, road design, petrochemical industry design. Then you need to make estimation documents like BOQs, how much like material requirement plans, that how much cement you require, how much steel you require, how many piping you require for that project, like estimation documents. Then you are going to make stand contract. Okay, contract document, that on which conditions all these business partners, all these project partners are going to deal with each other. ये भी तो हो सकता है ना भाई, कल को किसी की लड़ाई हो जाए. Is that possible? Yes, of course. So we have to maintain that quality of project. So we have to mention all those conditions in that contract. So contract is the document, and via then bidding process, bidding documents. Like via bidding process, we are going to award this project to some contractor, thekedar, service company, developer. Do you understand? Bidding document or bidding stage or bidding process is required. This client and consultant are mutually searching another party, which is called thekedar, developer or contractor, to execute this project. Okay. So now this project is awarded. Award of project. Done. So new story starting over here. This guy is in the game now. This guy will be part of game over here. So after that, within this planning phase, इस बंदे की ड्यूटी क्या है? दिस गाय इज गोइंग टू प्रोड्यूस प्रोजेक्ट शेड्यूल. नाउ यू कैन रिलेट इट हाउ प्रोजेक्ट शेड्यूल विल बी कंपाइल्ड. वो जो पिछली स्लाइड, प्लीज रिवाइंड योरसेल्फ a few minutes back, how that guy is going to produce this project schedule. Project management, product management, Primavera P6, contract and agreement. Do you understand? And this project schedule, cash flow and resource requirement and many other requirements, documents you can produce. आप निकाल सकते हो Primavera P6 से जो भी आपको चाहिए होता है. That is another story, no problem. So now you understand what's going on. Now you understand what's going on here. ये तीनों पार्टीज का समझ आ रही है. पूरा मैं आपको समझा रहा हूं कि कैसे ऑयल एंड गैस प्रोजेक्ट चलते हैं. ओके. Now this planning phase, the second phase and the third phase is going to start. That phase is called execution phase. It is practical phase. Practically your work is going to start. What is going to happen? The majorly resource mobilization. Your all resources, your crane, your site engineers, your chemical engineer, civil engineer, whatever staff you require to complete that project is going to move on site area. You are going to set up your caravans. You are going to set up your buildings over there, temporary buildings, temporary facilities, we can say, so that you can stay there and you can continue, right? So execution phase. In execution phase, your practical work is going to start over. Okay, Momin, please don't make lines over here. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your understanding. Thank you very much. Sometime I need to disable this one. Okay, thank you. So execution work, this is the third phase. Now, during this third phase, the fourth phase is going to start. During this execution phase, your fourth phase is going to start. That is called monitor and control. Monitor and control. In monitoring, your staff like site engineers, your supervisors, your foremen are going to monitor that what's going on the site. Like, welding is going on, they are going to monitor. They are going to document that information. Okay? Like, in our school days, in our college days, even in our university days, there were monitors. There were CRs, class representatives, who are going to monitor all the class. Same, there is a site representative, site engineer होता है, ठीक है ना? That is going to document everything. किसने कितना काम किया, आज excavator कितने hours चला. So that is monitoring. That guy is actually going to document each and everything on a register or an Excel sheet, something like that. So that guy is going to share data with planning engineer. Okay. That guy is going to share that document with planning engineer. Now planning engineer is going to use that data and going to compare with this project schedule. That guy, planning engineer, is going to use that data and going to compare with project schedule and going to produce progress reports. So that is why this is called control. क्योंकि progress report का काम क्या होता है? What is the objective of progress report? Is to measure performance. कि भाई देखना मेरा project की performance कैसी है. So that would be called control करना. Project अच्छा चल रहा है, that's good. Project बुरा चल रहा है, take some decision to control project. Simple. So that is the fourth phase. As long as our execution phase will be carried on, हम जब तक execution phase करेंगे तब तक monitor control भी करते रहेंगे. And the last phase is called closing phase. In closing phase, you are going to produce final report of your project, handing over, taking over. At the end of this video, I just want to highlight that if you want to learn this full training, full advanced level, that how you can perform as a planning engineer in the industry of Gulf region, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, and how you can pass job interviews, because I know that watching these videos can leave you a lot of questions in your mind. So I am offering live sessions about construction industry planning and plant shutdown industry planning and control. So I would like to invite you in my full interactive sessions. Enroll now. When you are going to start your project planning and control, scope management, and create your project WBS. And here you will be explained what are the scope statements documents, what are the scope baseline documents, and how to create and how to grab the concept of WBS, which is most important when you concern with project planning control initial level job roles. So let's start. Scope management refers to the processes used to document that the project includes all the work required and only the work required to complete the project successfully. I have used two important words, processes and document. Document mean to write in the document, right? So first I will explain what is the process so that you can understand complete project planning engineering, this terminology whenever I'm going to use this again and again. Actually, job interviewers are going to ask you in job interviews that what does mean by process? Define process. In our life, everything is happening under a certain process. If we are sleeping, that's a process. If we are eating, that's a process. If we are activating any mobile package, that is a process. So if we define set process is actually set of small actions required to perform to get desired output. That is the definition. Set of small actions required to perform to get desired output. So it means actually whenever I'm going to take this terminology into my this session, it means there are inputs. Okay. Process means there's a same like equation, right? Input and there are outputs. Okay. That is the visualized definition of process. Input, we need to incorporate few inputs, and on the basis of those inputs we are going to get output. Same, I'll give you an example of chicken biryani, right? So we need to cook a chicken biryani, we need chicken, we need rice, we need masala, we need every other thing required for cooking that biryani, and at the end we are going to get chicken biryani. But if we are going to change here chicken and we put here mutton, it means it's going to cook mutton biryani. Simple. So same is happening with scope management. We need certain inputs and we are going to get certain outputs. So first you need to understand. So process, you understand, everything is a process, right? Process. Every time I ask this, call this word, your mind should be pop up like, okay, input and output. So scope management is a process. It means we require inputs and outputs, right? So document that the project includes. So this process is actually dealing with the processes to document that all the project work should be there. मतलब like हम एक document prepare कर रहे हैं and in that document we need to add all the work required to complete that project, and we don't need to write anything which is not required on site. Let's say I'll give you an example. I'm going to construct a building. In that building, as per design, we have mentioned there are 24 windows. So I'm going to write on the document that we need to make 28 windows. It's not required. We need to mention as it is required by design, 24. Simple. Not anything extra and not anything less than what is required by design. Simple. Exactly what is required by design, right? As per the customer requirement. That is the definition. Now we are going to define different processes. As a planning engineer, tomorrow you are going to join any company. Let's say as a planning engineer, you are hired. This is the first thing. A lot of people are going to ask me, sir, we are hired as a planning engineer, even they have good experience. But when you talk about a certain industry, a certain career, then you have a pressure. So I'm going to I need you all people should feel that pressure. Tomorrow you have a joining in any company as a planning engineer, and you must be thinking that what kind of question you should, you have not worked before as a planning engineer. You just taken the training. Simple. But now tomorrow your day should be very successful day. First day, first impression is good. It's there is a quotation something like that. Okay. So as a planning engineer, you have to talk about scope management. You know that to write everything about your project in the document is called scope management. But what you are going to talk about, the scope management in the detail. The first process is called plan scope management. Like in this process, you are going to talk about policies, procedures, okay, that how your scope management will be documented, what kind of formats required, what kind of, formats, policies. Every company have different kind of policies, procedures, and processes. What kind of process? Like you have to conduct meetings, you have to make online meetings, something, because there is a team. It's not only you planning engineer are working there. And as a planning engineer you should keep in your mind कि भाई एक प्लानिंग इंजीनियर जो होता है ना वो किसी भी प्रोजेक्ट पे they are connecting every department with each other. This planning engineer is actually dealing with design team, that planning engineer dealing with procurement team, that planning engineer is dealing with contract team, that planning engineer is dealing with consultant, client, contractor, have site supervisors, foremen, site engineers, taking data from them. So your planning engineer is dealing with everybody. Okay. So there are policies. So this is the first thing which is not that much actually required. The most important thing then is collect requirement. Now this planning engineer, because why I am explaining these processes, because this scope management means to write your project, what you need to conduct on site area. So how you are going to collect that all those things? You have to go one by one. This one document, your company is carrying this document. ये होता ही होता है हर कंपनी के पास before starting every project. Then collect requirement. This is a process in which you are going to deal with your design engineers. Obviously, there are design engineers, there are quantity surveyors, and there are contract engineers. In design, your project, either you talk about oil and gas project, this design engineer is going to help you to understand drawings, design, quantity surveyor with the help of these BOQ. BOQ means bill of quantity. I'll be sharing with you people bill of quantity. Just give me a moment. Okay. This I will share, don't worry. BOQ. Okay. This is a document bill of quantity. एक्चुअली दिस डॉक्यूमेंट विल बी एक्सट्रैक्टेड. ये निकाला जाता है भाई जब जैसे डिजाइन बन जाता है ना. मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूं. ये देखें, जैसे ये डिजाइन है घर का. अब एक पेपर के ऊपर अगर आप लिख लें कि इसमें सीमेंट इतना लगेगा, मटेरियल इतना लगेगा, स्टील इतना लगेगा, सी, so that document would be called as a BOQ, bill of quantity. Okay, I'll be sharing. See this one. This is airport construction project. Here you can see that construction of fence, everything from design they are going to extract that fence में क्या क्या होना है, watch tower बनेगा तो इसमें क्या क्या होना. This is the format of BOQ, bill of quantity. I'm not going detail. Next session we are going to get into the details, because right now I'm explaining the documentation within scope management. So don't worry yet. Okay. So I'll be sharing here scope management. So when you are going to deal with collect requirements, under this process, you are going to get the document document, like whatever you are going to, very initial document for your project, requirement document. Okay. Under this document, collect requirement, you are going to deal with design engineers, quantity surveyors, and different project management teams, representatives. आप पूरी कंपनी के जो ओहदेदार हैं, जो स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं, उनके साथ मिलके एज अ प्लानिंग इंजीनियर यू आर गोइंग टू डॉक्यूमेंट कि भाई हमें बिल्डिंग बनानी है, लाइक मेजर लेवल इंफॉर्मेशन, लाइक यू आर गोइंग टू मेक बिल्डिंग एंड उस बिल्डिंग के अंदर कौन कौन से स्टैंडर्ड्स होंगे. आश्टो स्टैंडर्ड है इफ यू आर गोइंग टू कंस्ट्रक्ट पाइपलाइन प्रोजेक्ट, सो उसके अंदर एपीए का स्टैंडर्ड होगा, समथिंग लाइक दैट, वेरी हाई लेवल इंफॉर्मेशन. ओके. सो द नेक्स्ट स्टेप इज डिफाइन स्कोप. From this requirement document, you are going to define your scope statement. Scope statement under the process of define scope. इस स्कोप स्टेटमेंट के अंदर क्या होता है, ये डॉक्यूमेंट लिखते जाएं. दीज आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स एज पर द इंडस्ट्री रिक्वायरमेंट. ठीक है. स्कोप स्टेटमेंट, सॉरी, जस्ट गिव मी अ मोमेंट. यहाँ पे क्या आएगा, स्कोप स्टेटमेंट. ये लिखते जाएं साथ साथ. ये बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, ये वैलिड, ये जेन्युइन है. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं अपनी तरफ से. ये स्कोप स्टेटमेंट, ठीक है. दिस इज द डॉक्यूमेंट ऑफ स्कोप स्टेटमेंट as per the defined scope. This is the procedure. The third procedure, define scope. You are going to produce scope statement. रिक्वायरमेंट डॉक्यूमेंट का जो इलेबोरेशन है ना, आगे आगे अगला स्टेप भी तो करना है ना, वो स्कोप स्टेटमेंट है. स्कोप स्टेटमेंट के अंदर क्या आ जाता है, व्हाट आर द अजम्पशंस इन द वेरी इनिशियल स्टेज ऑफ योर प्रोजेक्ट. यू आर गोइंग टू अज्यूम like how my project is going to conduct, how much cost I require, how many days I need to build this project, right? Constraint का मतलब क्या होता है, मजबूरी, पाबंदी. Like मुझे ये project, I need this project to be done in 1 year, so that is constraint. Simple. So in this document, you are going to mention few more things: assumptions, constraints, and quality assurance and quality control criteria. If I need this airport to be constructed, this rigid pavement, this taxi links, this pipeline should follow these standards. स्कोप स्टेटमेंट के अंदर क्या क्या चीजें होती है लिख लें: assumptions, constraints, and acceptance criteria. See, do you understand? Okay, then the next step is create WBS. Now I am going to share with you Primavera P6 dashboard just to show you a magical thing. This is Primavera P6 dashboard. I just want to switch. मैं just एक चीज switch करना चाहता हूं just to make you people realize one magic. Just give me a moment. Can you see Primavera P6 dashboard? Please make sure in chat box. I'm waiting for you people. It doesn't matter. Like I'm sharing with you and you just skip. Okay, thank you very much. See, please give me your recommendation. This template is good one or this other template. I will share again. I will get back to the original one. This is the second template. Before it, there was a first template. Which one is good one to understand, to go through? Which one is good one? Second one. Why? Because project management, it totally actually relying on the human psyche. If we, take this thing into our mindset, newspaper, आपको न्यूज़पेपर अच्छा लगेगा कल आप न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ें. There is no heading. No heading. There is no heading in your essay. There is no heading in the book. Very boring thing. So project management using human psyche technique to break down your project, to make your project different kind of headings. So create WBS is the next step, which is actually going to refine your scope, I'm going to share. WBS is very, very important terminology within your project planning controls. You should know the definition to decompose your your project into smaller and manageable components. हम क्या करते हैं? हम अपनी लाइफ के अंदर when there is a complex concept, we are going to break down that concept into smaller ones to understand easily. This is our life relating example. If we have complex target to achieve in our life, we are going to break down that target into smaller ones. Like we need to pass some exam, we are going to, buy parts, we are going to break down that target into smaller components, smaller achievable components. Same like if we need to build a building that's a complex target, we need to break down that building into different kind of components. Why? So that we can manage. I have used their words manageable. Okay. So that is the definition of our WBS, to decompose your project into smaller and manageable components. Here you can add one more N. Sometime I miss some spelling, so don't mind about that. So this is the definition. I'll give you an example here. Let's say there is a building, airport. Let's say the project I'm going to start with you people, that is oil and gas field project. Okay. So this project has been given to me to schedule it. As a planning engineer, I'm going to join a company. So that's oil and gas project, simple. I know that first thing I need to start is scope management. That's fine. Under scope management, as a planning engineer, you should know these processes as well. Okay. Collect requirement. If you are a senior level engineer, you are going to deal these things as well. But I know that you are going to join any company, you are going to start from create WBS because everything will be done. Right? So this is the first thing, but you should know. It's not you are going to miss. You should know what plan, scope management, collect requirement, what document is the output, define scope, and from where WBS is going to be created. आपको उसका एक शजरा नसब पता होना चाहिए भाई. Create WBS, the first thing you are going to deal. Oil and gas का project है, ठीक है? Yeah, decompose mean divide, break down, छोटे छोटे हिस्सों में उसको break down करना. That's what I'm going to explain. Don't worry. मेरे पास ऑयल एंड गैस का प्रोजेक्ट है. नाउ यू आर गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड द ट्रू स्पिरिट डेफिनेशन ऑफ WBS. व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन? Oil and gas का project है. When I am going to divide this into the smaller components, what is the benefit? I will be dividing it. I have designing phase, okay, and I have construction phase. I have construction phase, okay, okay. So when I have divided, these are the two smaller components. It is very easy for me to understand. I have to conduct designing phase, right? I have to design this project and then I have to carry out construction phase. Simple. It's very easy for me. But still I'm not clear because designing which discipline? So I have to divide it again. I need to make civil. I need to make mechanical. I need to make piping and so on. And same, I need to make construction of civil. Okay. फिर mechanical and फिर piping. Simple. So just give me civil and piping. So I have divided this into further categories. So see, it's not mean to divide your project only once. You have to divide your project again and again and again and again. Simple. This is your strategy. That is called WBS. See, when there was a designing phase, I was not clear many things. I don't know how to, where I need to deploy. मुझे civil engineer को कहाँ पे लगाना है. जब मैंने इसको मजीद, when I further divided it into the further parts, I know that I have to deploy my civil engineer designer over here, mechanical engineer designer over here, piping engineer designer over here, and same way project manager for civil works over here. Further, I can divide here civil into substructure, foundations, buildings, superstructures, mechanical into fabrication, piping into piping kind of things. I will divide it again and again until I will get my target. Simple. Do you understand the definition of WBS? Please write in chat box. That is the process. Actually, you need to understand two important things over here. The first thing, scope management definition. By definition, scope management means to write your every task on the document. Simple. But what should be the format? आप सवाल करते हो ना स्कूल में आपको टीचर ने कहा जो भी मैं बोल रहा हूं वो आप लिखते जाएं, वो आप स्कोप मैनेजमेंट कर रहे हैं. लेकिन आपके जहन में क्वेश्चन आ गया, योर माइंड हैविंग अ क्वेश्चन that what kind of format I should follow. That is WBS. WBS is actually guiding you. The format should be ये hierarchy. This is called hierarchy form, format or node format. As a planning engineer in the industry of Gulf region, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, and how you can pass job interviews. Because I know that watching these videos can leave you a lot of questions in your mind. So I am offering a live sessions about construction industry planning and plant shutdown industry planning and control. So I would like to invite you in my full interactive sessions. Enroll now. So I'm going to explain and I'm going to help you people to interact with Primavera P6 that first time how you create a Primavera P6 file as a project file. So let's start how to do this in very simple and easiest way. Every time you are going to start working on Primavera P6, you need to develop a file. So you can see file on your top head area. Once you are going to click file, you are going to give drop down window. नीचे एक window open हो जाएगी. You have to click new because you are going to develop a new file that is going to provide you new window. Of course, this is a process, but don't ask me नहीं सर new को ही क्यों click करना है. मैं आपको ऑप्शन दे सकता हूं कि न्यू को इसलिए क्लिक करना है बिकॉज यू आर गोइंग टू डेवलप अ न्यू फाइल. बट डोंट आस्क मी सर इस विंडो के अंदर हमें क्या क्या, सिंपल सी इंफॉर्मेशन है. माय प्रोजेक्ट नेम, माय प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट डेट, माय प्रोजेक्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इंफॉर्मेशन, दैट्स इट. सो हाउ आई एम गोइंग टू फॉलो इट? सिंपल. दिस इज फाइल, दिस वन. ठीक है, इसको मैं क्लिक करने जा रहा हूं एंड आई एम गोइंग टू क्लिक ओवर हेयर, सी, एंड दिस टाइम आई एम गोइंग टू क्लिक न्यू. And here is my new project file. So one, I'm going to click on this three dotted area. EPS, actually EPS mean department. Primavera P6 is very versatile software and it asks us like we can save our project in different kind of folders. We can make them in sequence. We can, ये हमारे लिए आसानी है. So if I'm going to click on this three dotted area, it is going to open up this kind of sachet pack. ठीक है, sachet pack. So there are different kind of folders, and I can, I can put my project anywhere, like in energy. This is my project folder within Primavera P6. Next, my project ID will be the abbreviation, my project full name. Let's say my project name is Saudi Arabian Oil and Gas Project. Simple. Okay, this is no, this would be on the top. Actually, this would be on the top here. This name from where it will, and this contract documents, Saudi Arabian Oil and Gas Project. Okay, simple. Did you understand? So from where you will get this one? Don't make. अब बहुत सारे लोग क्वेश्चन करेंगे, सर मुझे प्रोजेक्ट का नाम चेंज करना है. इट्स नॉट हलवा. You don't make your project name by your will. You have to consult. When you are going to work in professional field, just write there. When you are going to work in professional field, you have to consult with your contract documents. On the top of your project contract, there is mentioned salient features, project name, project milestones, project start date, finish date. I will share you, no problem, but keep in your mind. Next, again, contract is going to help you out. This is today's current date, okay, but you need to change. It's not आपका project आज से start हो रहा है. Let's say your project is going to start from the next month, 30th of October. Select that date. Simple. No need to give any finish date. That is ये ऐसी बात नहीं है कि हमें पता नहीं है. We know our project finish date, but there is a myth to operate on Primavera P6. So you just need to start a certain date, right? Next, no need to say anything over here. Next, ignore it. Next, congratulations. You have made a new project file and I'm going to finish it. That's done. So now again, I want to open my project file. So I will click file, this time the second option, and I'm going to minimize each and everything. You can see this sachet pack was earlier pop up जब मैंने इसके अंदर अपने प्रोजेक्ट को रखा था. कौन सा फोल्डर है? कैन एनीबडी माइंड टू हेल्प मी आउट? आई फॉरगॉट एक्चुअली. सो विच वन? एनर्जी, आई गेस एनर्जी. अगर आपको मिल नहीं रहा तो यहाँ पे एक और भी ऑप्शन लगा सकते हैं, कंट्रोल एफ का. ये देखें, तो यहाँ पे मेरा सऊदी अरेबियन ऑयल एंड गैस प्रोजेक्ट था. इस तरह का कोई है तो मैं यहाँ पे लिख देता हूँ. मुझे फौरन से उसने प्रोजेक्ट फाइल खोल दिया मेरे लिए. सी दिस वन. I will just click this one and open. The new project file has been created and open for me in Primavera P6. As a planning engineer in the industry of Gulf region, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, and how you can pass job interviews, because I know that watching these videos can leave you a lot of questions in your mind. So I am offering live sessions about construction industry planning and plant shutdown industry planning and control. So I would like to invite you in my full interactive sessions. Enroll now. After understanding all of these things, that how planning engineer is going to develop the skill set, now we are going to resume that after creation of project file, how you have to create project WBS. So let's start to understand this concept on the screen on the Primavera P6 interface. Engineering, procurement and construction, we will get into the details of everything. Engineering means designing. If you will look around yourself, you can find many factories, you can find many oil and gas pipeline kind of things, you can find laptop, you can find mobiles, you can find gas pipelines, right? You can find bus stations, you can find housing societies. So everything you can see, just imagine one time before construction, you need one design that would be called engineering. After design is done, you need to arrange people, right? If you have design like this one, I'm just making you understand the framework of EPC, okay? Okay, so this is your design of building, of anything. Just understand from this point of view. Take an example like, so once this design is done, now you want to build this design in reality. So you need people, you need material. From this design, you need to make estimation how much cement you require, how many tons of steel you require, how much soil you require, how many wooden doors you require, right? So that phase is called procurement, estimation of resources. And then practically you are going to start your work, that is called construction. The most, detailed one industry. Maybe uh, you are going to join any company and they are going to ask you that you need to plan your project, okay, but we don't need design, we don't need procurement, only construction. So that is your advantage, you will understanding all the points here. If I will cut down engineering procurement, maybe tomorrow or after 1 year you are going to join any company as a planning engineer, you are going to complaints or we did not study about. So that's why I'm covering each and every phase. EPC industry, right? Every phase will be covered in this one, even EPC industry, and the extension one is IC. What does mean by IC? Engineering, procurement, construction, installation and commissioning. In most of oil and gas projects, we are covering installation and commissioning as well. So if we talk about EPC, अगर हम EPC के बारे में बात करें, so that would be our WBS level 1. Okay, that would be our WBS level 1. So how to create your WBS level? So you have to click on project. Once you are going to click on project, you will be given a drop down window. Click on that window, you will be given a window, and the rule, golden rule of Primavera P6, anything you want to add in Primavera P6, there is add button. You can click on that. But before that, we need to open. Right now, we are in activities window. This is not our target. Our target is to open project. See, there is WBS. Once I'm going to click this one, a new window will be opened. This is my target. I'll give you an example. First page of book, any book, what is written there? Please write in chat box. Once you are going to buy any book, either it is a course oriented book, novel or magazine, the first page is going to give you the information how many chapters in this book, at which page you can read which chapter, right? Chapter 7 detail, something like that. So that is the first page. This is the first page of book and this is the detail of the book. Do you understand WBS? So this is actually your higher level information, of your project, different kind of stages of your project, different kind of phases. The detail of phases will be given in the activities window. I will be sharing that information as well. The first top level of your, you can break down. So when you are going to add WBS, make sure that you have to right click over here and click on this add button. Just add button and then again add button. Every time make sure you are going to click over here, right? So here you are going to write engineering. Engineering mean design, or you can write here design. Then you have procurement phase. In this phase, you are going to make estimation of your resources, material and all that. And then you have construction phase. This is your top level EPC industry framework. While uploading your project WBS over here, you have to understand that there should be columns like WBS code, okay, and WBS name. Don't worry about these columns, okay, don't worry, it's not required at this level. So that's it. If I'm going to switch from WBS to the activities level, what you can see right now, you can see all the things which you are going to produce in WBS automatically will be shown in activities window, whatever you are going to develop in this window. As a planning engineer in the industry of Gulf region, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, and how you can pass job interviews, because I know that watching these videos can leave you a lot of questions in your mind. So I am offering a live sessions about construction industry planning and plant shutdown industry planning and control. So I would like to invite you in my full interactive sessions. Enroll now. As a part of our EPC framework, we know that our first initial phase is called design phase or engineering phase. In this phase, as a planning engineer, how we have to operate across the industry, across different kind of stakeholders. So in this video, I'm going to explain about design or engineering phase. and how to deal with that process. This is this slide is actually going to help you to track designers' performance. Internal review. Designers are going to sit and they are going to make internal review, their team. Once they are going to communicate with you that document or drawing is under this phase, you are going to say, okay, out of 100, 3% work is done. These percentages are on the basis of ADNOC, Abu Dhabi National Oil Corporation. Okay, ADNOC. I will help you to understand why. Every other company is doing same methodology. This is called a rule of credit or weightage. 3%. Okay. Simply, your designing team is going to say, okay, like they have to start from somewhere, na? They are going to report you as a planning engineer. You have to track their progress. So the first process, they have started structural drawings and you are going to ask them, okay, what is your status? They are going to tell you, we are actually doing internal review. Internal review means they have prepared the document, but now they are actually making double check, right? So you are saying, okay, ji, 3% is done. Once this done, they are going to send that document to the other departments, like civil structural drawing is being shared with the mechanical engineers. Why? You know that there is always a link between structural drawings and MEP drawings. Once we are going to make project, we have dependency. वो जो हमारे घरों में कंस्ट्रक्शन होती है, दीवारों में से दी जाती है ना आपकी इलेक्ट्रिकल की लाइंस. So there should not be any contradiction, any conflict, so that it means IDC, interdisciplinary check. It means other departments who are part of that project, electrical, mechanical, piping, they should check that document as well, so that they make sure there is no contradiction, right? So this is the second. Okay, you people, if you want to learn planning engineering as per ADNOC standards, you may, यहाँ पे, इसको memorize करें, रट्टा लगा लें, memorize each and every step. Then first submission, after that, they are going to submit this design to the client or whatever is the approval authority. Then 10%. Second submission, maybe a client is going to tell them, okay, that's done, but I need some changes. And they are going to submit again, then 20%, you are going to get 3 to 5, 10, 15 and 25, 35% progress is done. Once approval is done, 85% progress is done. And then 100% approval for construction or IFC. Okay, same like KFC, not KFC. This is IFC mean issue for construction or approval for construction. So this is the complete process to track your designing team process, that what they are doing. You are not concerning what they are doing in the Revit, AutoCAD, these quad. No. As a planning engineer, there are different kind of steps, simple. But most of the companies, I am actually helping you people as per ADNOC and Aramco procedure, oil and gas industry, that is the standard one. Okay. But a lot of companies are only writing submittal and approval. Okay. Maybe you have to ask, don't show any efficiency if your company is not following this process. But as per ADNOC and Aramco, they are following this procedure. A lot of companies only putting these to submittal, approval. Okay, we were going to maybe 50% progress. Simple. Submittal is done. Submittal means submission. Submit करवा दिया. Okay, approval हो गया. Simple. 2 activities. Okay. So anything you can follow, but this is the standardized one. So now I am going to share structural. यहाँ पे click add button. Here, internal review, and then click on this add button again, IDC check, interdisciplinary check. Then click on this add button, first submission. Then second submission. Yes, Zuman, you have to memorize it. Okay. Then approval, then AFC or IFC, approval for construction. This is the procedure. As a planning engineer in the industry of Gulf region, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, and how you can pass job interviews, because I know that watching these videos can leave you a lot of questions in your mind. So I am offering live sessions about construction industry planning, and plant shutdown, industry planning and control. So I would like to invite you in my full interactive sessions. Enroll now. This video, I'm going to explain you complete EPC or engineering procurement construction management scope of supply and model driven project execution plan. Either you talk about construction industry project, or you talk about oil and gas industry project, petrochemical, textile, cement plant. So this complete video, this complete chart is going to clear your concepts. If you are in planning or you want to start your job career in planning, this complete video is going to help you different stages of your project, milestones, and what kind of documentation required. And the most important thing, which I always try to deliver to all the people out there who want to start their job career in planning control, or they want to upgrade their job career as per multinational companies to pass job interviews in Gulf region, they should focus, they should attend this video till end so that they can grab the idea, they can pass job interviews. So in this video, you can see right now, you can see very complex kind of things. Things are overlapped with each other on this y-axis. I can just simplify this video for you people. You can see there is x-axis and there is y-axis. Along y-axis, you can see there is office bound, there is site bound, there is schedule objectives, there are disciplines, there are generic milestones and progress derivatives. Obviously, when we are going to work on project, we need all these things to carry out. These are overlapping things. And on along x-axis, if I talk about these all things given along y-axis, they have given the details. Like if I talk about site bound resources, there is detail that at which milestone I need what kind of resources, right? I will be explaining each and everything once I'm going to start to explain this diagram. But right now I'm going to give you an idea how to view this complex kind of thing. I'm just trying to simplify it so that you can understand. Actually, this complete diagram is absorbing a one very 1000 page thick book worth of, right? So it's very simple thing. And now you have to understand things one by one. This is office boundary. So whenever your project is going to start, it is very obvious thing that it's not like that you are going to start from the site area. You have to document information, details, different kind of reports. So obviously people from the office area are going to start work, and then site people are going to mobilize on the site area. So obviously these two things are going to represent me that what kind of peak I require in which phase. Like if I talk about office bound, you can see that the graph is on peak, right? Touching peak, okay? And these are the engineering people. They are also working on the office areas. Then designers, after engineering, after reporting is done, I need designers, then I need procurement people, then I need people who are actually detailing about those procurements, and then I need construction people, which is actually as double as these previous curves, right? Because in this phase, I'm covering site, right? I need construction managers, I need site welder, all those people are going to make it give up maximum high, maximum peak, and then quality control is actually getting along with the execution phase. So these are the requirement of different kind of specialist along with, because this complete x-axis is showing me from very start, from feasibility analysis to the delivery of my project, right? So understand these two initial things. So as I mentioned earlier, that everything over here is overlap. I can't skip like I'm understanding this point and I should skip this one. No. Earlier on the initial stage, I just make this simplified to explain that these two you can see blocks are showing me requirement of different kind of resources as per the requirement. Now I can see that if engineering is on the peak, why engineering is on the peak in this area? Because this area is basic design, right? That is why this is on peak. I need more engineers, I need more people who can work on the initial stage of my project, right? The consultants, the people who are expert in something like what kind of thing, like preparing feasibility analysis. So what does mean by feasibility? Feasibility, actually, whenever your project is going to start, just either you talk about building, road, power plant, building construction, or your refinery. You need to make evaluation of your project with respect to your budget, economically it is feasible or not, and technically, right? If feasibility is in terms of yes, you are going to proceed with your project with a authorizing document like project charter. So after that, you are going to conduct invitation to bid, right? You are going to invite different kind of contractors out there in the market to compete in that bidding, so that one of those contractors or service companies are going to win that project. So see, everything is overlapped. Within this, I need more engineers. But why? Because basic engineering is going on. I need designers. I need the people who are expert in this concept, capacity materials, right? Initial estimate, cost estimates, right? Extended phase key documents. Then I need people who can make MTO or material takeoff from that basic engineering designs. They can make initial level good calculation sheets and all that. So then I can make you understand. Along with that, you can see I am explaining this phase, but along with that, you can see that what after feasibility, I'm supposed to conduct this model. This model, you can see that this is 3D type model or prototype, which is explaining to all the stakeholders about the available conditions we want to incorporate into that project. If any conflict is there, all the stakeholders can talk about it and can make a proper decision through the project management strategies and all that. Okay, so right after this model is set up, right, this is done, we are supposed to prepare a baseline schedule. This is very basic level project schedule, which is actually guiding you in this phase that what are the major milestones and how we need to conduct those milestones as per our current strategy. But after this everything is happening within basic engineering phase. Baseline schedule is done. Right after baseline schedule, we are supposed to prepare detailed schedule. Okay. And there is after this, see, these multiple things are in parallel, right? So different kind of people we are, we require to conduct all these things. And then we have front end engineering design. This study will be done right after feasibility analysis, when we are actually covering this model setup, baseline schedule. Baseline schedule is actually giving you the details when feed is going to happen, when this is coming under detailed schedule, right? Detailed schedule is going to give you the information with respect to time, with respect to cost, that these milestones, you understand, baseline schedule is covering these two items, right? Feasibility study analysis, feed, and something like that, right? Initial milestones, whereas detailed schedule is going to deal with the other documentation, right? So everything is actually overlap. So within basic engineering design, we are requiring maximum people belongs to engineering discipline, right? In office area, right after basic engineering, what we require people who are more expert in designing. On the basis of these reports, they are going to design the things, right? So they are going to prepare detailed engineering kind of things, core design analysis, peripheral designs, final prices and contracts. Obviously, you need to set up the conditions, that on what conditions you require this project to successfully execute and deliver. So detailed engineering is actually to finalize all designs. Either it is about structures, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, foundations, with detailed specifications and drawings needed for construction. So within this, you can see that core design and analysis is also mentioned over there. In-depth analysis. This is actually focused on structural, electrical, mechanical, whatever I have mentioned earlier. So that is going to address that one. And the second, this peripheral design. So this actually complements core engineering, adding additional systems, facilities, as per the requirement of the project. Okay, so then detail checking, right? The people who are going to make more details about that project, and the people who are actually dealing with the contracts. So actually everything is overlapping and is actually coordinating with each other, right? So see, this detail schedule is up to here, and the feed is done. Once feed is done, then your fabrication is fabrication details under detail engineering, right? Because here you need to understand, under detail engineering you have to carry out all these processes, and under this process you need to understand your designers are in more demand and engineering is going down. So see, now after detail engineering, you can see that procurement is starting. What is procurement? Once your design is done, you need to take off material from that design, compile BOQs, BOM, right? What kind of material you require, what kind, total tasking, converting your design into the task sheets, that what you need to conduct, BOQs, bill of quantity. So this procurement is going to start from here. So see, your designers are going down. Now your procurement people, specialists, their task is going up and up and up, something like that, right? And along with that, obviously, for fabrication details, simple. See, it's this work will be started. This procurement, simple over here. So right? Plant piping deliverables actually refers to specific documentation, drawings, calculations, and reports prepared during various phases of the piping design, engineering, procurement, and construction stages in a project. These deliverables actually serves as a milestones and reference points, ensuring that the piping system is designed, fabricated, installed, and tested per project requirement and in industry standards. So I'm going to mention over here different kind of documentations which are part of this plant piping deliverables, like piping and instrumentation diagrams. Okay, so these diagrams are also the part of this plant piping deliverables. This is actually detailed representation of the piping instrumentation, control devices, and interconnections within the plant. And then piping layout and general arrangement drawings, GAD, are also part of this deliverable. These drawings actually illustrate the physical layout of the piping systems, equipments, and other structural elements within the plant. They ensure that the piping is routed efficiently, safely, and within design areas. And then isometric drawings actually provides a 3D view of individual piping sections, detailing about the piping dimensions, orientations, and connection points, obviously having a vital important role in the fabrication and installation for the people who are going to fabricate them. So then there is a pipe stress analysis report. This actually stress analysis ensure that the piping system can handle internal pressure. Pressure is very important factor, thermal expansion, obviously, and when, because hydrocarbons or whatever the fluid is going through that, piping and all that, that is going to be very important, and external forces. So then material takeoff, your bill of material, I have already mentioned that quantity surveyors are going to deal with them, that how much quantification, for the task to define from the designs. Then welding and entity testing procedures, hydro testing, like and pneumatic test procedures. So also along with these documentation, you need to understand with that deliverable you are, because these things they are going to ask you in job interview. So line list and valve schedules, like you can see that line list categorize all pipelines in the plant by size, like 2-inch, 3-inch pipe, 5-inch, MR NACE, MR 075, H2S oriented, something like that. Okay, material service and all that, right? Then flange and bolt schedule. Obviously, there are different kind of pipe schedules to 80, 20, X something. As built drawings is also part of this deliverable. Quality control, quality assurance. So this actually, this one, plant piping deliverable, is carrying these all documentation. After that, once this one done, design is done, yellow off is actually making sure before starting the next phase. Parallel, we have to understand, after feed we are supposed to start fabrication details, and plant piping deliverables are actually also conducted once fabrication details, because obviously information will taken from here and will be part of this deliverable, right? So fabrication details deals with the drawings and specs used to create customized components. And there is then QCP schedule. Okay, and this QCP schedule is actually dealing with your project timeline for quality assurance, okay, activities to ensure that each component meets industry standards and the things which are mentioned as per project requirement. So over here we have yellow off design and a quality check. Actually, this yellow off is actually a quality check marking completion of certain phases, our component verifying readiness before the next phase. And after that, actually you are going to mobilize to the next phase, like after fabrication details are done, you are going to make skid vendor mobilization. Like, you are, as per procurement procedure, you have asked third party to prepare that skid or whatever. So skid, this stage refers to assembling and preparing prefabrication units, skids, for transport and installation. Whoever the third party, actually procurement is the process to arrange all the resources which are not the part of organization. So you are going to conduct contracts, you are going to strategize how to acquire all those resources, either those are manpower, material, or machinery resources. So through procurement proper procedures, contracts, you are going to acquire all those skids. Skid is also kind of material resource. So after this, skid is going to be compiled, manufactured through the supplier or vendors, and then they are going to provide you on site area, right? Then above, piping and test packs and punches. So what does mean by piping, test packs and punches? Because these are parallel things are going on. So now you can see that I just forget to mention over it, detailing people are going to here, because here detailing was going on. Here procurement, because procurement, after right procurement, you need detailing, right? After only detailing task, you can assume that how much steel I need, how much 2-inch piping I need, right? So detailing oriented experts are in demand. And right after, I need that manufacturing of skids, I need more people on site area. I need people on office area, but now site based people are more in the requirement. As long as my site area work is on the peak, my quality people who are going to conduct different kind of tests to document reports, to verify deliverables, they are also in demand, but their frequency is like that, right? At the end, they are in much demand. So this, you can see how this curve is going on, right? So along with this, you can see that piping, test packs and punches, this is also same like plant piping deliverable. This is a deliverable. I will explain you that how this what kind of data this deliverable is carrying. A piping test pack is a comprehensive set of documents that outlines the inspection, testing, and quality control requirements of a particular section of the piping system. Actually, it is used to verify that the installed piping conforms to the project specification, standards, and codes before commissioning. There can be different kind of test like MPI, UV, visually, right? Something you are going to test. So this actually ensures the quality, the incident should to avoid from the incidents and any mishappening. And within this, you can have different kind of contents like piping isometric drawings, hydro testing, pneumatic test procedures. See, whatever I have explained earlier, plant piping deliverables. So there is again a repetition of the documentation, but here you can see more of the process, how to conduct the process. So piping isometric drawings for reference, then hydro, static testing, how to conduct the procedure checklist for welds, flange connections, valves, material certificates, test results, inspection reports. So such kind of components are going to be part of piping test packs and punches. And more of punches means a specific document which is actually going to cover deficiencies or the things which are not yet provided or installed, which is deficiencies. You can refer it, and in future you are going to incorporate all those things. So that is actually piping. So see, once this construction is done, you can see that construction phase is started, and how it is. You should keep an eye over here that how basic engineering is going to start, how detail engineering is going to start, and how procurement is going to start. Everything is overlap, and then construction is going to start. So see, in the start, construction is very less work is start. With the passage of time, you can see that more construction work is on peak, and procurement is also on the way, right? Everything is overlapped. So like this way, you can see that as built mean that whatever has been built is going to be documented so that in future it can help to the operation, maintenance, or for the sake of the contract purposes you need to. So client documentation, obviously client is going to close the project. They are going to produce final documentation. They are going to produce the things as per the project requirement. So see, according to that, here you can see that which kind of expert need to be released, which need to be hired, and along with that, there are respective curves. And within schedule objective, you have baseline schedule. I have explained about it, what kind of things under baseline schedule and what kind of stages. And here we can see that there are different kind of milestones at the end. After understanding all these things, of course, you need to write down each and everything along with this video. You need to make pause it, write down your milestones. This is the complete case study you can implement on any project, right? To make your concept in more clarity, right? But in our project as a planning engineer, you are supposed to provide the progress. So here is progress derivatives, like when your feasibility analysis is done, your 1%, when your 1% is going to be done, like your decision to tender, then 5% kickoff meeting, 10% your conceptual design closeout, there 20%. So there, as a planning engineer, when you are going to sit with your team, it's not like that you are going to make you are going to define that, okay, how many from this stage. I will be explaining in more detail this, because this is very important as long as it concerns with from project planning control. Okay, so what you are going to define over here, actually, just make sure about so now the last topic, which is actually going to cover different kind of milestones, which is also part of the, from start to the end level. And parallel to those milestones identification, we need to cover that how to calculate progress, or what are the divisions of our progress with respect to these milestones. So the first thing is feasibility, right? Feasibility analysis or completion over here. And kickoff meeting, once it's done, we are supposed to give our project that it is going to complete 1%, this is 5%, 10%, 20%, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60. Obviously we are going to cover one, like ITB study, basic engineering, detail engineering, procurement. Within that procurement, there are different kind of things that like detail overview is going to cover, like then 40%. These are cumulative progress. Within that, this phase, I'm going to give you an example how to calculate, how to develop your approach as a planning engineer. This is 30%, this is 40%. So time interval or the specific phase progress is actually 10%. Now, as a planning engineer, you need to understand that what kind of tasks are being carried out. You are going to carry out here fabrication details, right? So fabrication details will be up to here, like, right? Something like that. So then you can see that there is procurement as well. We are going to understand from the perspective of procurement. Obviously, that procurement is going to present that fabrication details, what kind of quantities or materials we require, right? So this 10% will be divided into the activities which will help to understand the process. Let's say long lead items, we need to make RFQ, okay, request for quotation, or RFI or RFP, request for proposal, depending on your project. Okay, then you need to make in float inquiry, right? Receive bids. Your suppliers are going to submit you bids with their specs and cost. Then you are going to TBE, technical bid evaluation, then approval. So this is actually then approval, then purchase order issue, one of the suppliers, purchase order issue. Sorry for this kind of things. And this is part of ordering, then manufacturing, then delivery. Simple. So this 10% would be equally divided into the progress calculation, like maybe ordering will be 2%, and 7% is manufacturing, and 1% in delivery. That is how planning engineer need to understand these milestones. So I hope this complete document is a philosophy explaining planning engineering philosophy,
along with the quality, the development of schedule, the development of your team, as long as it concerns with your site-based and office-based people, then different kind of documentation, different kind of milestones, and what kind of things you need to carry out, as long as it concerns from the feasibility to bidding to basic to detail to feed, whatever you require, everything is there. And then the construction. Within construction, obviously you need to see that what kind of detail engineering. As per this detail engineering, you need to carry out construction, but keep one thing in your mind, that your procurement and your construction should be aligned, should be pre-planned, so that your construction date should not be disturbed. So that is the vision of a project planning engineer, to complete your project on a time, to deliver your project, to start up your plant or refinery, petrochemical, on time, right? That is only possible if all these procedures are conducted through a proper planning and scheduling, through a proper resource deployment with realistic productivity, with the proper strategy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was really a professional document, and if you want to take oil and gas or plant shutdown or EPC full training with Primavera P6, with more detailed process task, from designing phase to procurement to construction to long lead items to installation to commissioning, with different sample projects. You can take my services, paid services as well. I can consult you, I can teach you, I can train you, I can offer my coachings. So that would be honor for me to serve you people. So that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please write in comment area that how did it help you people to develop your project planning and control, vision and concepts. Thank you very much.
Under procurement, there are three things. Procurement will be done under ordering. First, you are going to make ordering. This is the ordering. Once you are going to done with ordering, the 10% progress is done. Manufacturing 70% and delivery 20%. Same like you are going to order a pizza. You are going to order pizza. All of you friends are sitting together and you urge that you need to order a pizza. So you decide the taste, fajita, whatever, chicken tikka, whatever. So ordering, one of your friend make a call is connected, and you are going to select which taste you want to eat tonight. So order is placed. So that 10% job is done. Now that pizza company is going to produce, they are going to cook that flavor, that pizza, put in the oven, take it out, put all the accessories, your required ketchups and all that, pack it, and 70% prog done. You are going call again then, sir, when is going to be delivered? They are okay, pizza is done. So you are going telling to your friends, okay, order is ready. It means 80% work is done. Now only 20% is behind delivery. Did it help you to understand in that way? Same is going to happen in the procurement. In the modern era, pizza delivery is actually quite understandable for procurement. Same thing. I'm going to now, but we are going to understand ordering over here, how it is going to happen. Ordering, float inquiry, same, a friend is going to call. Okay, so your company actually need electric boards, distribution boards, spools, whatever item is. Float inquiry means that you have different kind of suppliers in the market, same like you have different kind of pizza brands, Pizza Hut, Broadway, you have Domino's, you have many other local brands and all that. Same, they can provide you a pizza. Same like in a company, a certain item you require distribution board, you need to make advertisement. That process is called float inquiry, mean you are going to advertise that you require distribution board, right? The first process. Then all the suppliers who are going to read that advertisement, who are attached with your company, we can call them suppliers or vendors, they are going to submit bids. So your company is going to receive bids.
Okay, they are going to get back to you, right? And then issue TBE to company, like your technical bid evaluation. Actually, 20 people are going to get back to you that we can provide you electric board, we can provide you cables, whatever item you require. But you are going to ask your company to evaluate these 20 suppliers. It's not like that you can order every single person, okay, or I will give you, or no, no. Only single person required. You require pizza from single shop. Simple. It's not like that one slice from Pizza Hut, one slice from Domino's, one slice from some other brand. No, no, no. You need all complete product from single supplier. So you ask your company to evaluate. The procurement people are going to evaluate, quality people. Then they are going to evaluate all the bids, 20 bids. Out of those 20 bids, they are going to approve one bid, only one bid. 19 are rejected on the basis of prices and technicalities. Technical bid evaluation means who is going to provide you most feasible and economical item with most optimized standards. Okay. Issue PO, purchase order. It's not Coke PO, it's purchase order. Maybe you are understanding पिज्जा है तो फिर भाई बोतल पियो. No, no, no. PO, purchase order. You are going to issue purchase order, that one guy. Okay. Who's winning that bid. Okay. So after the order is done, 10% is done. And then this is actually, okay, just give me a moment. Next phase is actually manufacturing. By mistake, this is on animation. So manufacturing. The next phase is manufacturing. So in manufacturing, that guy is going to receive receipt of vendor documents. You are going to actually see all those documents, approval of documents. If you require to manufacture that thing, they are going to prepare drawings and all that. This is actually oil and gas field oriented procurement. So you need to memorize all these things. This is not difficult thing. It's very simple thing. Place sub orders. You have to keep receipts for the payments. Manufacturing will be started. Final inspection. Okay. Final inspection means you are going to make send your representative who's going to visit that factory or manufacturing area, and they are going to inspect. And then external works, if any extra work required, or miscellaneous work. After that, delivery, 30% items on board. If you are going to order this from other country, then receipt at port, then at site. So this is the complete process of the procurement. So I'm going to share with you people in WBS, and still I can, first of all, long lead items. I'm more concerned with long lead items. I will break down long lead items into piping spools, because most of the companies piping, then we need distribution boards, then we need instrumentation. Okay, these items we can categorize maybe 3 items, 15 items, but as a planning engineer, you have to keep one more thing. uh, what is that? Procurement people are going to provide you all the list, long lead items, but what you think, you have to keep in your mind, every time you are going to incorporate, you have to consult with your client, because a lot of times client are going to say that you don't need to add bulk items into your project schedule. They are going to separately on Excel sheet, they are going to see the progress of bulk items, because once you are going to add bulk items in Primavera P6, it's going to make your project schedule very, very comprehensive. That is not required one. So as per client, if client is agree, you can exclude this one, bulk items. And moreover, you can take the permission, you can take the approval, what long lead items I need to add in my project schedule. That's it. Okay, because you need to show the dependency. So let's say I have shown over here bulk long lead items. I can show over here, just give me a moment, like electrical RTU. There is also one component. Okay. So these are the components we want to take under long lead items. Okay. So under everything, if I will click over piping, I need to break down and piping into ordering. So see, ordering, then piping under manufacturing. Manufacturing. Okay, then piping under, what is there? Ordering, manufacturing, then what is there? Delivery. Now you understand, right? So I'll be sharing in activities window, and we can see that uh, under ordering, what I can see, click add button, float inquiry. Yes. And then we can have flow under float inquiry. We can have receive bids, like they are going to, then issue TBE, evaluation, technical bid evaluation. Then I'm going to click add approval TBE, then purchase order issue. For bulk items, only this much process. If you want to add any bulk items, no need to make ordering, manufacturing, only these activities are okay. Okay, like if you want to add anything. But here, manufacturing, receipt, vendor documents, okay. Then again, I'm going to share these steps one by one, okay. Approval of documents, place sub orders, one by one we can. Approval of docs, then add approval of documents, and then the next thing is place sub orders. Okay, and then again click on this place receipt of sub order material manufacturing. Yes, approval of sub orders, then manufacturing or start manufacturing, and then inspection, and then add and external works or extra works. And then under delivery, just give me a moment, I'll be sharing. Yes, Jonathan, you can write your doubt over here, don't worry. Along with it, you can write delivery items on board, receipt at board, items on board. This is actually process actually. You have to follow items on port and then delivery on site. Delivery on site. The construction area where you require that item. Okay. So that's what you require. Yes, right. Jonathan, just write your thing on the chat box area. Okay. Okay, this is the procedure you have to write and you have to memorize as well within your, these work packages and all that. Okay. So I will click get back to WBS again one time and I will make sure about the understanding. This template would be called WBS template, or you can see scope baseline. Okay.
End of this video, I just want to highlight that if you want to learn this full training, full advanced level, that how you can perform as a planning engineer in the industry of Gulf region, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, and how you can pass job interviews, because I know that watching these videos can leave you a lot of questions in your mind. So I am offering a live sessions about construction industry planning and plant shutdown industry planning and control. So I would like to invite you in my full interactive sessions. Enroll now.